We're going to call the meeting to order. Thank you all for being here. And the first thing we're going to do is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next on the agenda is a moment of reflection. If you're the praying kind, you could say a quick prayer for our township residents, and we'll just take a minute for a moment of silence. Thank you. Next is roll call.
Supervisor Godey.
Here.
Clerk Baracco here. Treasurer Davis.
Here.
Trustee McKay.
Here.
Trustee Menke.
Here.
Trustee Blanchard.
Here.
Trustee Hoskins.
Here.
7 present. We have a quorum.
Excellent. Next on the agenda is approval of agenda or consideration of additions or deletions. I do have a little bit of language change for our closed session, which will be later in the meeting. This came from our attorney, and to move that the Board of Trustees convene in closed session under Section 8(1)H of the Open Meetings Act to consider material exempt from disclosure by state statute, Section 13(1)G of the Freedom of Information Act, being a letter from its attorney dated April 8th, 2025, for the reason that the letter is exempt from disclosure under state law due to the attorney-client privilege. Are there any other additions or deletions? Changes?
That should be May 12th, not April 8th.
May 12th?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, anything else?
Just a clarification.
Thank you.
Item 11F. The language there refers to Parks and Rec begin utilizing the $30,000. Technically, they're an advisory committee, so they can recommend that we authorize that.
And then one other small change, it's not just for Markham Park, is it? Can that 30,000 be used in any of our parks?
Well, when that comes up for discussion, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
There is.
Okay.
Yep, but
Okay.
we'll talk about that. Excellent. We made the notations. All right, we'll take a motion to approve the agenda with the corrections.
So move.
And we can do a voice vote for this. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Excellent, motion passes. Next is the supervisor report. I would just say that we did not receive any nominations for recognition this month. The form is on our website. Please, you can email that out, fill it out, send us an email. We really appreciate a lot of things that people do in our township, and we want to recognize that. So if you have anyone in mind, please email us. Second to note is the ARPA report. The American Rescue Plan Act was due on April 30th to the U.S. Treasury, and it was quite a process for Cody and I to gain access, but we were able to do that. We were able to complete it and submit the report 2 days early, which made me very happy, considering it was a month and a half late last year. So the ARPA report is done and submitted. We were able to purchase a 2020 Ford Explorer with low miles to replace Rescue Squad 52. This will be in service soon, which we're excited about. And I don't see Assistant Chief Woodward. He was cleared to come back to full duty after his medical situation in February, and we're very thankful for that. Next, number 4 I've got on my list is, as you know, I proudly named Cody McCarty as the deputy supervisor last month. He's been a huge help to me and performs my duties when I am unable to be here, which I do travel for work, my other job pretty regularly. So I appreciate all that Cody has done to help me. So thank you, Cody. Deputy Supervisor Cody. This week is Police Officer Week. Today is actually Police Officer Memorial Week or Day. And I just want to thank you and all of your peers for all of the work that you do to help keep us safe. And we're happy to have you here.
Yes.
So thank you. Next week is EMS week. And if, for those who don't know, our fire department is a licensed medical first response agency through the state. And these brave men and women are licensed not just to certified to take care of fires, but they also are licensed to provide medical care in emergencies, and we're thankful for that. So next week we'll be saying thank you to our fire department. Just for knowledge, President Ford, Michigan's only president, made the first proclamation of EMS week in the 70s. And it's just kind of nice to know that EMS week is recognized thanks to President Ford. And then finally, I would say now that the ARPA report is taken care of, Cody and I are working on policies and procedures, and the budget. Will be going over that stuff and start scheduling budget meetings probably in July. And we'll be ready to start those and work through those for our 2026 budget year. And that's all I have in my supervisory report. Next on the agenda is approval of the consent agenda items. And those are all listed A through I. Do I need to read all those? I don't usually. All right, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second? All right. Does that need to be those vote? For roll call? All right, and we'll do a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Next on the agenda is public comments on agenda items only. I would just remind everyone, if you make public comments, our decorum rules are posted on the board if you need to review those, but
Hello. Hello, Supervisor.
Bruce,
And
timer.
hey, Bruce, they're out there. So nice to see that the superintendent position is being eliminated. Hopefully we get some very clear understanding as to how or why we can just flip flop our, I mean, this is like a major change in our system of governance. That's what I was explaining when we made that change previously. But they never even actually told us that they were going to do it. The whole time the board sat here and lied to us and told us they were only researching. Oh, only thing that we're doing is researching. And until one day they voted on, well, let's make some other plans right now. We're going to do it. Well, wait a minute, it was only research. So, because it's a change. It's a change in our system completely in the way that we function. Now we're changing back. Now we don't have all the duties or all the job isn't as hard as it was supposedly. What Joni Jones said it was. I mean, we need some explanations to the people on this stuff. This is, you guys are literally willy-nilly changing our system of governance. And you act like it's just not a big deal, but it's a major deal. The parks, I'm really hoping now that the Parks Committee does come back to be public as well. They need to be shared. Any committee that's gonna be for planning or ideas, why would you want those to be not public? You should encourage and make those the biggest, most public, so that the ideas are shared. I mean, I've been to most of these board meetings and there's not that many ideas with a few members on the boards. So having it open to the public is kind of a necessity. So make sure that that does happen. And when it comes now to this, once again, a private closed session, you know, this is the legal jargon that you need to clear yourselves to go into a session, but it tells us nothing as far as what you're actually going into session for. What does his letter pertain? What is it? You're not telling, you can't tell me that you can't give more information as to what the reasoning is for the letter, as to why you have to go behind closed doors and not share with the public what's going on. It has, you have to share more. I mean, it's disgusting that we're controlled, but again, I've said it repeatedly that these attorneys are the ones that rule and control and make the decisions. So maybe we're changing that. I hope you
Time's
are.
up. Anybody else for public comments on agenda items? All right, let's move on to our police report. Officer LaValle.
The total number of calls for service, in Bedford Township for the month of April was 345 calls for service. We took a attempted breaking and entering incident on Morgan Road. There's an individual that attempted to pry open a door and a window, off a barn. They weren't successful, but never, got inside or anything, didn't steal anything, so that's good. We did take a larceny report near Morgan Road as well. An individual stole over $3,800 in bills, $5,000 worth of jewelry, and a firearm was stolen. We did our good investigation and we have a warrant out for the suspect. We did have a report of a shooting victim in the area of Ardmore Drive. The individual had a gunshot wound to the leg. The individual was sitting in their vehicle at the time. Our DB is Detective Bureau, is still investigating this incident, if the individual accidentally shot themselves or someone did. And then we took multiple arrests and custodies for operating while intoxicated, domestics, and probation violation warrants.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And happy Police Officers Week. Chief?
Well, the medicals have slowed down a little, not as many per day as it has been in the past. The rain is coming, so that's gonna eliminate a few of our field fires and stuff there. Everything is running green now and stuff, so it'll eliminate them. We had one on Collier a little over a couple of weeks ago here and stuff, which burnt right up to about 3 foot from a house. And if the house had caught on fire, it would have went fast because it's an older home and it burned all the way around it and stuff. So we got lucky on that one. Collier down here, we had 2 accidents lately on it. One was telephone pole. The guy hit the telephone pole on the corner of Collier and West Michigan down here and busted it right in 2, and it was just dangling with a lot of power lines on it. The other accident we had was two cars that hit right down there, so it seems to be getting a familiar place down there in Collier and West Michigan. The other structure fire we had, mutual aid with Benfield, it was on the St. Mary's Lake Road on the corner of 66 and there. Pretty well destroyed one apartment there and stuff. And we got there with a mutual aid with Benfield and stuff. It was coming through the roof and stuff and it was caving in, so they saved the other two apartments that was there. Jason drew that when it was burned. That was a suspicious fire, but I don't know what the outcome of it is yet. I haven't talked with anybody in Penfield yet, but I give them my opinion, what it started it and stuff. So anyway, so we're moving right along. I had an accident yesterday out on Walbascon, just past Walbascon Road where it comes on the baseline road. A young fellow went off the road and hit a tree. All he done was peel the bark off it as usual. The tree is still standing there, but he was traveling pretty fast. And when he came over the little knoll, I think he lost it and tried to correct himself, and he didn't make it back on the road. So he hit the tree and totaled that vehicle out. The two vehicles that just happened down here the other day, and down there, both of them got totaled out too. So people driving too fast, not paying attention to what's going on and stuff. And like I say, the deer are moving out there too now. So, you know, you're traveling in these back roads, you better slow down and watch ahead what's up coming out and stuff, because the deer are moving. And nighttime, you can't see them standing inside the road, and they're gonna out there wave it to you when you come by, because they're gonna dash right out in front of you probably. And next thing you know, you will hit them and stuff. But outside that, we're just keep moving right along, and everything is going pretty good on the fire department, everything, and people are learning, training, and like I've always said in the past, you got a good fire department here, so take care of them. And you got a bunch of young guys on there that we needed for a long time, and their knowledge of not only on medical part of it, but fight fires and stuff is superior and stuff, and they're good. So any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chief. I don't see Representative Frisbee or County Commissioner Strobridge. The next, under unfinished business is to review a position description for roads coordinator to be considered for budget year 2026. That was included in your packet. And I hope you all reviewed it. Is this something that you like, you don't like, you think should be updated?
Would you like comments?
Of course.
I think it's unfortunate that we have to go to this model because we don't get the support from the county and the state that we used to. And it's clear over the last couple of years that we need our own people watching what's going on when we contract with the county for the road repairs. It's not necessarily a full-time job by any means, but it's a job that somebody needs to do it. It's obvious that we've had a few complaints about some of the road repairs that have been done. Although I will say that the pothole repair this year, I thought was really good, you know, on some of our roads. But yeah, I'm supportive of this.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my question is, are we hour-wise, how many hours a week?
That's what we need to determine.
Okay.
So when I was looking at this, I was looking at not just the position description. Do you like how this is written? Is this something, as we move forward and start working on position descriptions that we have here in the township, we don't currently have them written. So is this, does it look okay? This format look okay?
It does. Are there any educational requirements? I see we have experience.
experience.
I think that's important if our residents are pondering
For
applying
sure.
for it.
In this particular position, we tabled last month, if you remember, and so it needed to be brought again before the board tonight to continue. And the reason that we put on the budget year 2026 is this position was not budgeted for in 2025. We can get somebody in that position for budget year 2026. That's gonna help us, not just with the roads, but planning ahead and, you know, getting these roads done first and then moving on and having someone that can plan, like that.
Supervisor Godey, may I show my ignorance for a moment?
You certainly can.
How have we handled this in the past? Is this, I know you said that we're not getting the support that we've had from the state and the county. Before we expend township funds, is there pressure that we can place upon the state and the county to pick up where they've dropped off? So that we're not incurring cost?
So that's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. I know that we have received some grant funds for some roads. But I don't know the specifics on that. And that is something that we're all gonna have to have some due diligence to find funding. I know that there are some grant opportunities that are out there that I hope that we will qualify for. But this person would really be in charge of, you know, taking care of all of those things. And, and I think that's in here. For tracking and reporting, not just the roads, but bridge conditions, rivers, culverts, streams, sidewalk conditions, needed repairs. Coordinating those communications related to maintenance and repair activities, representing our township at county and statewide meetings concerning road infrastructure, and the roads coordinator must also remain informed on statewide road maintenance schedules and relevant developments.
So this would also be somebody that is the go-between us and the road commission, correct?
Correct. They would answer to the board. for
Thank
sure.
you.
Yeah.
I definitely like it, but definitely just part-time, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Full-time
yeah.
position,
And I
no
think that
benefit,
was,
no
the
benefit,
committee
yeah.
kind of thought that too.
Yeah,
Is it
Um,
as per needed or is it
No,
a set,
we'll need to set
a set,
some.
a set, number of
Yeah.
hours?
So that's why I left the boxes blank on top. If
Mhm.
you like the way this
Mhm.
is, then, you know, we can continue this when we start talking at the budget meetings.
yeah.
And including this in the budget meeting, and then we'll have the definitions.
I like
Describe.
I like that,
I think
Is that
that's a good
okay?
idea.
yeah.
What does like Penfield and them do? Does anybody know? I mean, do they have a part-time one? Maybe we can work with them and use the same person or something? I don't know, it's just an idea.
Not a bad idea.
Mm-mm.
So I know that, I
Surrounding area.
saw an email where someone had reached out to a city, person or a former city, employee that was involved in city roads and, but I think that we'll definitely be talking to other townships that are our
Yeah.
size and see what they do and what works for them
Just
and
wanna
what they would
utilize
improve
the Same
on.
person if they're only part-time there and
Sure,
part-time here and
right,
so.
yeah. But we would interview, of course,
Oh, yeah.
open the
definitely.
position and interview, accept applications and go from there. Okay. So I will continue to work on this and then we'll, bring this up at the budget meeting as we continue to work on them. Okay. Next is petitions and new business. So first is motion to approve trustee Jean McKay to the Planning Commission as the board liaison through 11/2028.
I'll make a motion.
All right, is there,
Support.
all right. And then all of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Next on the agenda is resolution 5/13/25-15, resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Bedford to eliminate the position of superintendent. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Any discussion?
Eliminating the superintendent position, obviously is gonna open up a bigger scope of work. So that's where I guess we have to find out, what are we gonna do for the superintendent position that was what he was doing? So
So
who's going to actually put that on their back now to
Yeah.
do?
what the law says is a township or a charter township can name a superintendent that would take care of the supervisor's responsibilities, A through O in the law. So that all falls onto the supervisor. And then, of course, when I'm not here, the deputy supervisor has those responsibilities.
I'm sorry, again, if I may, do we have the bandwidth for that? Are we covered?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Have we done an analysis of all that was being done, and do we have the bandwidth to cover that with the existing resources?
What's in the law, those were supervisor duties unless delegated to a superintendent.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think, what was it, about 3 years ago, when the superintendent model came into effect in our township? And in that period of time, we've had 2 superintendents. The answer to the entire board, and I'll just say, I didn't like how that had to end at last month's meeting, and I would like to prevent that from further happening. And then maybe some discussion later on about an office manager.
Okay.
Something to that, as we put that into it, but as we throw something together, and when I say throw, I don't mean throw, I mean really do research, and we want a good model for somebody that would be responsible for some of the day-to-day operations, but we still, the law is pretty clear on who's responsible for those supervisor's duties. Right, for this one, we'll do a roll call.
Trustee Hoskins,
Yes.
trustee Menke,
Yes.
clerk Baraco, yes, treasurer Davis.
Yes.
Supervisor Godey,
Yes.
trustee McKay,
Yes.
trustee Blanchard,
Yes.
7 yes, motion carried.
Thank you. Next is a motion to approve a $1,000 per month salary for Deputy Supervisor Cody McCarty. Fair motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
So discussion.
So this $1,000 extra a month for Cody right now is temporary until
Correct.
we get more details if we move towards an office manager position, anything like that.
Correct.
And then he's gonna stay in his position he's in now.
Is the zoning administrator, building and zoning administrator. He's been a huge help to me, to the township. He's full of knowledge, but I would like to have him get $1,000 is probably on the low end of what he deserves. But if we could give him a $1,000 per month salary, and I'll just remind you that I have a $500 a month salary and performing the supervisor duties. So we no longer have a superintendent. So we're not paying out that salary for the superintendent.
Yeah.
So this would allow him to continue in the role of building and zoning administrator. And if we come up with maybe we can discuss it next month at our next board meeting about an office manager and have a job description and then work on that.
Maybe ask Cody a question.
You can, yes.
So Cody, on this, if if this is approved, you're comfortable doing both of them? Feel you won't be too heavy of a load?
No,
anything
we're,
like that?
we're in like the prime
Mhm.
building season right now
Okay.
with all the permits coming in. I think that's probably pretty well.
Okay.
Can I ask, did you say that this is a temporary? Until we decide?
Yeah, it would be $1,000 per month, and if we go the manager route, I guess until something changes, it'd be $1,000 per month. In addition to his zoning administrator duties. Any other discussion? All right, a roll call?
Trustee Menke,
Yes.
Clerk Bracco, yes. Treasurer Davis.
Yeah.
Trustee McKay,
Yes.
Supervisor Godey,
Yes.
Trustee Blanchard,
Yes.
Trustee Hoskins,
Yes.
7 yes, motion carried.
Excellent. Next on the agenda is Resolution 5/13/25/16, resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Bedford to approve adoption of the sewer and water rates effective July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2026. Is there a motion? I need a, okay. A
Who's the
second?
motion?
Me.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, now we can discuss. And Cody, maybe you can help us understand that a little bit more. I know this stuff is in here, but
Yeah, so what little bit of, areas of Bedford are on public utilities, obviously we contract through the city of Battle Creek on. We were on a 4-year schedule with them that we had passed a few years ago where we just matched the city's charges. So there wasn't really a pillow or anything like that, so if something happened to one of our pump stations or something like that, that we had to pay for, it was coming out of our general fund. They did send me the new rates, they're somewhere in your packet, that they approved for 2026. They seem to go up 2 to 4% per year on the city side. So it's really up to the board, if you guys wanna add in like 0.5% extra or 1% extra to kind of build that fund up when some stations do break. We have a little bit to fall back on. I know like we recently got almost $5,000 charged for one of our pump stations breaking. You know, it's really just, I think it's 700 some houses, if I remember right. If that, so it's not even a huge portion of our township, but you know, it's a pretty significant cost for something that is kind of just one corner of the township that helps, or not helps, but services.
Yeah. What area is that in?
So we got all of the St. Mary's Lake houses, Orchard Park,
Oh,
down Morgan a little bit. Very little bit of West Michigan, is on city water. I think city water goes up to Prudence. And then River Road now too is also on, water.
thank you.
I did get a list of the houses that are on there, from the city. I have some questioning I need to do about that. There's 2 addresses that appeared almost 20 times each, and they don't exist. So, but we looked it up with Chris, we haven't taken payments for them either, so it's more of like, why is this here, they're not getting charged for anything.
Just an internal.
Yeah. But I do have that list, if you guys would like to see that at some point too.
Thank you.
any other discussion on that?
So we need to add something into it so that we have a fund for repairs. So I guess the question is are we approving this with like a 1% increase? Or
This is just to approve the adoption of the sewer and water rates. And you said these were in your report, right?
The one in the packet is what the city has adopted for July 1st through June 30th.
these are the rates that they're charging us.
But that would not be a cushion. That would just be,
If we just
the
match
current.
them, yep.
okay. So maybe what we could do, it's a July 1 to June 30th, so we've got some time.
Yep.
Maybe we could table this resolution and have it more specific at the next meeting. Is that
I'm good with that, because I think that we need to look
Okay.
into the extras that are on here and all that stuff as well.
For sure,
Mhm.
yeah, okay.
No, neither.
Okay, so item D, resolution 5/13/25/16 is tabled and we'll take care of that next month. Next is a motion to approve the appointment of Crystal Smith to the Parks and Recreation Committee.
So moved. Support.
Any discussion?
Is she here?
She's
She's
not
not
here. No discussion?
She was pretty excited about joining.
Was,
She said she had lots of connections. She was excited to get to know her community better and it
I
was
think
right
it'd
up
be a
her
great
alley.
addition.
I believe that as well.
Owner.
I do too.
And a small business owner.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
in our township.
In our
Yeah,
township.
yep.
that's right. Okay, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Next is the motion to approve Parks and Recreation Committee to begin recommending of the utilization of $30,000 budgeted for Markham Park improvement, including disc golf, picnic table, and parking.
I'll make a motion.
All right,
Support.
okay, so now discussion.
So that's brings up my question about the 30,000 budget.
Yes.
That does not specifically Markham. It can go to any of our parks. in
So
our
we
township.
actually have 67,000.
Mhm.
So if we put 30,000 into that, that was an estimate on what it would cost to do those things for Markham Park, the disc golf, the picnic table and parking.
Are we talking concrete or tar parking lots? Is that what we're talking?
I remember, I believe
was
it was
gra-
just dirt.
It was gravel.
Included a fence to stop, because if you're aware of Markham Park, right at the corner of Duane and Markham,
Mhm.
there's the mowed field, people love to do donuts back there. And our maintenance guys spend a lot of time going out and filling in those ruts, replanting grass seed and everything like that, so.
Is that like a chain link? Kind of?
Or a split rail,
Okay.
yep. I don't know if we've gotten quotes on very specific,
Mhm.
types of fencing, but it does, yeah, include the cost of the
Okay.
fence. It doesn't need to be huge, I think it's like 120 foot or something.
Yeah,
across.
that's a lot. Yeah. I like the split rail too. Okay.
I do too.
Mhm.
And then, we have other parks, and this is just a quick off the topic a little bit. I spoke to the Pathfinders and they're young kids that, teens and just preteens, a group of kids that work to do good things in the world.
Mhm.
And I spoke with them last month. Man, these kids asked me, just fired off question after question. They were awesome. They said in September, they're gonna have some public service to do. And one of those I recommended was helping us clean up a park, and that I would help and come with them on one day. So I think we're gonna schedule that. Another one of the kids asked me what we're gonna do about the flooding at the park on Cross. And I said, well, I'm not sure, but we'll look into that. They really fired off some good questions, but a couple of them were about the parks, and I'm excited that they want to help
Yeah, kids
spend a
invested. It's
day.
important.
And yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah. Great.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second for the Parks and Rec Committee to begin recommendations to the board for using some money, including disc golf, picnic table and parking.
I'll make a
Did,
motion.
we ever just find out how many people are really on this committee yet?
On the
I mean,
Parks and Rec Committee?
yeah.
What did we count earlier?
5.
5, yeah.
Okay, so we do have, okay,
We just don't have a chair,
okay.
but they can select their
They
own.
need to
Right.
select a
Right.
chair, yeah. Okay. So
Yes,
this
I knew there
one,
wasn't too many, so I wonder.
Use a few more.
Yeah, good.
hint, hint. All right, so there's been a motion and a second. We've discussed, do a roll call.
Trustee McKay,
Yes.
Clerk Farako, yes. Trustee Menke,
Yes,
Trustee Hoskins,
Yes.
Supervisor Cody,
Yes.
Trustee Blanchard,
Yes.
Treasurer Davis.
Yes.
7 yes, motion carried.
So the next is resolution 5/13/25/17. I move that the Board of Trustees convene in closed session under 8(1)(h) of the Open Meetings Act to consider material exempt from disclosure by state statute, section 13(1)(g) of the Freedom of Information Act, being a letter from its attorney dated May 12th, 2025, for the reason that the letter is exempt from disclosure under state law due to attorney-client privilege. Motion,
I'll make a motion.
second,
Okay.
and we do roll call for this. It is a resolution, so, roll call.
Trustee Blanchard,
Yes.
clerk Baraco, yes. Treasurer, or excuse me, Supervisor Godey.
Yes.
Treasurer Davis.
Yes.
Trustee McKay,
Yes.
trustee Menke,
Yes.
trustee Huston.
Yes.
7 no.
All right, we're gonna go into a closed session. We'll be back shortly.
I'll make a motion.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Meineke? Where is he?
Oh,
Oh, sorry. It'll be just a second.
oh. We can't. do that. We lost him. No.
There he is.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dana, did you want to do your motion again?
I'll make a motion.
Motion to go back into open session?
Support.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, session's back open. Next on the agenda is public comment. And again, I would just remind everyone that the rules, decorum rules are posted. Hello, Mr. Sproul.
Oh, I'm proud, 122 Island Avenue. Two questions.
Yeah.
You talked about the road, you talked about the water and sewer. Okay, now when you said something about water and sewer, you said you were going something to the city rates. Whatever happened to the Fleece and Vanderbrink study that was done years ago? Is that still in process? Is that gone by or what? They had the whole thing in there on water and sewer rates and to project up. So I don't know, maybe that's expired. I'm just asking.
It is.
Cause there, and then on the county roads, you're gonna hire somebody like that, you're gonna have to build the roads, the county specs for the county to take care of them. And I'm just telling you from prior experience, if you're gonna deal with the county, you better have your ducks in a row. You better have the attorney draft up the agreement that the county is gonna sign, so the county doesn't come back and say, okay, show me where that says that in the contract. That's all I got to say. Thanks.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom.
Any other public comments? All right.
I was waiting for someone else.
Hello again, Adam Michael. Yeah, just the whole private sessions like that again. I hope that maybe in the comment time, we can hear some more about it. Hopefully we can learn about what's actually going on in the township. I mean, the fact that we have so many things that we have to go behind closed doors. That's just weird. That's crazy. And again, on this, the superintendent, again, I agree that we don't need the superintendent. But right now, just for snip, snap, for any of you that know that reference. Joyce voted for getting rid of it. I mean, Joyce was so hardcore for the needs of the superintendent. Yeah, there's just some needs. But again, we had multiple people that were saying that there was not a need, but then it just doesn't make sense. The things that this board has been doing, hopefully you guys are, there's a lot of new faces, obviously you're doing some new things. Hopefully you continue to make some right decisions. But increasing more positions, we don't need to hire like a position and salary position for like roads or something like that. That's crazy. Hiring another, office manager position and hiring more people more positions. That's technically then more work for the supervisor, because the supervisor's the manager. But you have a full-time job. You didn't want to say that earlier, but we know that you do. You said it before. That's why you had the position, because you didn't have to be here all the time. Now we just decided to get rid of it because we're now proving that I said the work that's going on, the workload is not really there. We have a young man that stepped up. Thank you, Cody, for actually showing the people that doing work here, just actually doing work. Having half a brain. I don't know how much of a brain Cody has. I've never really talked to him, but I know it doesn't actually take much to do the work here. A lot of people want to talk it up like it's bigger and more than it is so that you can make all this huge monies that you guys have been taking for us, that it's just been unjust. And then you abuse your power and authority to silence those that want to speak out and talk against it. And now we have a young man that's doing like majority of the work for everyone in the township. Thank you, Cody, for running the township now. I mean, it's all your lies eventually come out. That's what I said. So.
All right, your time's up. Any other public comments? I appreciate your demeanor tonight, so thank you, Adam. No other public comments? All right, next on the agenda is elected officials and trustees' personal privilege. Would you like to go first, Mr. Meineke or
Sure.
trustee Meineke?
Thanks, everybody, for coming. The weather's getting nice. One thing I want to say, and I think I've talked to you about it. People, you need to watch out there for motorcycles. Motorcycles are out there doing wheelie walks. I followed them the other day from the mall, basically to Urbandale. Of course, when the light turned red, they would have to stop, but one of these days, some innocent person is gonna get hurt. And, one of them was up higher, I can tell you that. So, just watch out for them, because they're just on the wheelie walk, just all right down the road. So, just watch out for the safety, is what I'm saying. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Blanchard, welcome.
Thank you.
This is your opportunity to give any thoughts.
Well, first I'd like to thank Supervisor Godey, Clerk Baraco, Treasurer Davis, trustees Meineke, Hoskins, and McKay for their confidence in me and giving me an opportunity to serve the people of Bedford Township. It's my hope to be another voice of common sense and to be a true representative of the community. Doesn't mean that we'll always agree, but I will commit to always hearing people out. And, looking outside of my own perspective. Look forward to discussing our local government with the township residents. My best contact right now is by text or Facebook. If you want that number, I'll make sure you have it. I do also work a full-time job, and I've got a very flexible, fluid meeting schedule through the week, but I'm good about returning phone calls. Heard that the kickoff of the Bedford Farmers Market was a success. I'd like to thank all of those who organize and participate in that effort. Farm to Table is a wonderful opportunity for the community and to support our neighbors. Would also like to thank the many members of the community who make our local government operate and see the safety of our residents. The fire department, and all of the people who volunteer on the various committees and make this township operate. It's a pleasure to again be of service to the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Hoskins?
Yeah, I'd like to thank our new addition, trustee Blanchard. Welcome. We look forward to working with you. Bruce, you mentioned the motorcycles. I'd like to mention the farm vehicles. It's okay, I'll talk over the farm vehicles on the road. I've seen one almost on Michigan, not far from where I live, actually, almost 2 accidents in the last probably 4 days on Michigan, everybody trying to pass them on the road. So something to see. Website is a good way to send us emails. We'd love to hear from the residents. Please reach out. Any issues, anything we can help with, let us know, because we can work on those if we do know what you're thinking. And we just love to hear from you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Trustee McKay?
I echo what my fellow trustees have said. I also would like to say, in addition to the motorcycles, I've seen quads, I've seen mini bikes, I've seen bicycle riders as well. And a lot of our roads are not really wide enough for bicycle riders. So make sure you give them some room as you try to pass them and be safe about passing them as well. And thanks everybody for coming and watching.
Thank you. Treasurer Davis?
Welcome aboard. That, I
Thank
want to
you.
say that. I want to say thank you for everyone that has came out. Congratulations, Cody.
Awesome. Clerk Bracco?
Just a couple things. Reminder that cleanup day is Saturday, the 17th from 8 to noon, and that's at Fire Station 3 on Morgan Road.
Oh, I had that too.
Don't they have one,
Good. Thanks for having my
don't
back.
they have one coming up out to the Bailey Park too for large items?
I would
I
have
don't
to-
remember the date, but it's coming up.
It's on our website.
Okay,
Is that-
okay, all right.
So, and then,
Last week,
Well, it was last
I
week?
think.
there's a couple things.
Oh,
coming.
was it?
Okay.
So the other thing is, Skeet Scareman Park, which is Bedford Park in the village. Unfortunately, on Monday, when we came to work, we were notified that there had been some vandalism there. Not sure who yet, so if anyone was there on Sunday, saw anything, it was covered in ketchup, mustard, barbecue sauce, all over the brand new picnic tables that we just put in there 2 years ago. This event, it was like an ice skating rink, it was so slippery. There was condiments in the restrooms, there was trash everywhere, there were pizza boxes, beer bottles, cupcakes, it was horrible. It was the worst we've seen it. What I did do was we took pictures. We met with the person that rented the park on Saturday and it wasn't his. We did find a pizza box with a name on it. All the pictures were turned over. A report was filed with the police. I mean, it's probably gonna cost
Cameras
several.
around there?
We don't have
Just
cameras up.
Not the park, but other businesses maybe, or they might have seen something. Does any?
We were just at the beginning, we're waiting for the police report to be
Okay.
finalized and then, so I'm asking just if everyone would keep an eye out, if you see anything at the park, just let one of us know, contact us, we'll go out there, but it's unfortunate. They work so hard, the grounds people,
Right.
Mike and Thor work so hard to clean that up, keep it beautiful for everyone, keep it mowed, and then to walk into that on Monday. So just asking for your help if you know anything, if you saw anything, if you know anyone that was there, because we want to be able to have, the parks, different events in the park, and it is reserved Saturday and Sunday for the next couple months, solid. So just if you're driving by and see anything, please just let someone know. If you see something, say something. And then if the police could just take a skip down there throughout Saturday and Sunday for sure. So.
Maybe we need. to
Well,
get some
clearly our
cameras out there.
children notice. After that Pathfinders talk, I was really surprised how many of those kids brought up parks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, but that's,
Good.
just, if you could help us out with that, because that is all our park and we've all worked hard to create a good environment. So that was it.
All right. We're good? Our motion to adjourn?
Motion to
Motion.
Any second? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, meeting's over with at 19:40.